Nick Saban ever called you Pappanastos?
Actually, I haven't really gotten that from Coach Saban, but pretty much every other coach around here has used that. And, you know, wherever I've been, I've kind of had that nickname specifically, but not from Coach Saban yet, which I guess it might be coming.
What's your favorite nickname?
I like that one. I mean, that one's easy, at least for people to kind of get out. It's on the tip of the tongue, so I'll go with that one. I don't really have a favorite, but I don't dislike it.
See some people calling you Papa John's because you deliver as a kicker. You like that?
Oh, wow. That's pretty funny. I've gotten that one, too, since I've been here. But, yeah, I mean, there's a couple of them floating around.
Somebody suggested that the Pappanastos would be a great sandwich at the shop here in town. What would be on Pappanastos?
I'm actually a really picky eater, so, gosh.
Chicken fingers or something.
Probably, yeah, some kind of chicken. Maybe grilled chicken. Healthier a little bit, but grilled chicken, barbecue sauce maybe. Pretty good.
What's the worst pronunciation somebody's like just murdered your last name?
I remember in high school I also played safety, and it got to the point where it was an away game and they were just kind of butchering it so bad that he just ended up saying like tackle by the kicker. That was always pretty funny. That's the one time I've ever really like heard it in the game, and it was stuck with me.
You clamoring to get some safety playing time here?
I think those days are kind of over. We'll let those guys do it, and I'll try to stick with kicking.
Were you like much bigger than other kids in high school or something? Why'd you play safety, I guess?
It was a 3A school in Montgomery, and obviously not a huge like Hoover, Birmingham school, but we had a really good defense. We had a good team. Made it probably third round of the playoffs pretty often. So, I mean, I loved playing safety. I always consider myself an athlete. So,
can you kind of go into your decision to come back? You know, I know it's been a few years or 2 years now, but just the transfer from Ole Miss, kind of come back here.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I mean, I know it's a big week for that, and for me, it's always been kind of I got to prepare now, and I've never really looked ahead towards that. It's pretty much I really try to divide it into what can I do today to make me better tomorrow, and then keep it going. But I graduated there, had a great time there, still have a lot of great friends, and I really respect the place and the program a lot. The opportunity came here just kind of came up, and it was something that I couldn't really turn away, especially getting back to my home state. And I grew up a big Alabama fan. We have season tickets, Section L in the stadium for a while, so it was always kind of a dream to be playing here. And once that kind of came up, it was pretty much a no-brainer.
How did you end up at Ole Miss in the first place? Did you look at going to Alabama? Or?
I looked at going to Alabama. I was in the recruiting class with Adam Griffith, and they actually offered him pretty early. So I was like, well, that's kind of out of the equation now. But Ole Miss came up, and I really loved it there. I liked the campus is great, and the school was a really good fit for me as well. So it worked out really well.
How many current players on their team are you still friends with? Do you still keep in touch with?
I talk to the kicker and punter pretty much weekly, Gary and Will Gleason, and those are two of my good friends. Special teams is like a really tight-knit group, so I'd say I'm still pretty good friends with 5 to 10 of them.
When some of that stuff was happening in July, I mean, did you have any sort of empathy for what was going on over there?
Honestly, I was really focused on what I had to do here. I knew I had a chance to contribute this season, so I was really had a lot of eggs in that basket. But from a distance, I mean, I really feel bad for some of the players. A lot of that was kind of out of their control. But that's a program that's going to compete. They don't really care that they have a bowl ban. I mean, they're going to try to make things interesting in the SEC every year. But I stayed away from it as much as I could. And I mean, I know they're going to be a good team, and we're really looking forward to the challenge we have with them.
You were at Alabama. You were at Ole Miss the 2 years that they beat Alabama. What were those 2 years like growing up an Alabama fan?
That was pretty weird. It really was. But when I was at Ole Miss, it was, you bleed and you sweat for that team. So I mean, I was obviously invested in what we had to do there. But it was always a little interesting playing Alabama, just because of my past as a kid.
How's the season been for you? Sort of competing for the job, winning it, and then now having some success.
Honestly, it's really flown by. I know it's kind of a strange answer, but I'm really trying to enjoy every minute of it. You know, from the summer on, I really worked hard to kind of be in the position that I am, and I just have great teammates around me. Snapper and Holder are really doing a good job, and they've done awesome jobs since we started working in the summer. So they're really making it a lot easier on me, as good as they've done.
Brand new snapper, brand new holder. I mean, how long does that take? That battery sort of take to mesh?
It takes a little bit of time. I think because it's a very timely kind of process, I guess it would be. But it took a little bit of time for us all to get on the same page. But once we have, it's just every rep just kind of builds on itself. And especially in the game, the more reps I'm getting, the more comfortable I am out there.
Do you think the turf at Mercedes-Benz Stadium affected your kicks at all? And Coach Saban had mentioned that there's other kickers that have had problems there too. Did that sort of affect you in the first game?
I wouldn't say it affected me. It was a little bit noticeable that it was a little bit different than what we practice here on an indoor. But I don't attribute that to any of my misses that game. That was, like I said before, that was a really good game for me to kind of be able to start it off. It was a big time, really hyped up game, and kind of figured if I could kick there, I could kind of kick anywhere.
Last question.
You kind of talked about improving this summer. What are some specific things you worked on, and especially coming out of the A-Day game, which was obviously probably not what you expected or wanted to be?
Yeah, well, with the A-Day game, that felt pretty bad. It was honestly very small little mechanical issues that I had that game that the next day I kicked and I fixed it. I mean, it was kind of an interesting deal, but I didn't want that feeling to happen again. So I really worked hard and put in a lot of work. Me and JK both, I kind of got with him and got in his program, and he's really committed to doing great. And he's done an awesome job since he's been here. So I figured if I hop in with him, we win this year with the idea of leaving no stone unturned. So we really just hit as hard as we could, and it helped me out.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you guys.